Live from Alfond Arena in Orono, Maine, the Maine Black Bears coming off a 7-0 win last night go for the sweep of the Vermont Catamounts. This is the Black Bear pregame show. It's presented by Hammond Lumber Company, a fourth-generation family-owned company with 34 locations and over 1,200 employees across Maine and New Hampshire. For more information, stop in or visit them online at hammondlumber.com. Now from our Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth alongside Mike Toole, I'm Jeff Mannix. Jack Webb is the third member of our crew tonight. Well, Mike, it certainly was a dominant performance for the Maine Black Bears last night as they hung 7 goals, their second highest this season.
Well, they certainly understand what the winning formula is when they play a high-energy game, heavy on the forecheck, heavy on puck pursuit. Pucks and bodies to the net, all the things that we talk about. They're a very effective team. When they stand around like they did in the first 6 minutes last night, they're a very average team. The question is, can they follow up last night's extraordinary offensive output with a strong game here tonight?
Let's take a look at our players to watch tonight, presented by Oakhurst Dairy. Kindness, goodness, Maineness. For the Vermont side, it's the last player for them to score, although it was 2 games ago. That's the sophomore forward Max Strand.
Well, Max Strand is known for his work ethic and leadership. He makes smart plays because he's got strong hockey sense. He creates offense mostly through anticipation and positioning. And although he was kept off the score sheet last night, at times it seemed like he was all over the ice.
And for the Maine Black Bears, it's a guy who got a career high in his young collegiate career last night. 4 points for the freshman Miguel Marcus.
He's a triple threat offensively. He combines puck handling with playmaking and shooting at a high level. He's got that curl and drag wrister ability to manipulate defenders, which makes him so dangerous in the offensive zone. And when he raises his compete and energy level, he's a very effective player. And
now it's time for our keys to the game, presented by Quirk Hyundai in Bangor. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit QuirkHyundaiofBangor.com today.
Well, first of all, you got to get off to a stronger start. We talked about having a fast start last night. They did not have that, so you got to start stronger. That's obvious. And then keep the pedal down. Do all the things that you did in the third period that were a carryover from the second period. That's got to carry over into tonight, so don't let up a bit. And then special teams execution was excellent last night. 2 for 5 on the power play, 2 for 2 on the PK. That's got to continue, and it's a way to build your game as the season progresses.
The Maine Black Bears and the Vermont Catamounts will drop the puck on their series finale at Alfond Arena next. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. It's the series finale between the Maine Black Bears and the Vermont Catamounts. Let's get to our uniform report presented by UniFirst, proud supplier of uniforms to the University of Maine and businesses throughout the state. For over 50 years, the Black Bears in the home white sweaters, once again with the navy blue and light blue trim, navy blue pants, white helmets, the cursive Maine script across the front. The Vermont Catamounts in the away green sweaters with the gold numbers and letters, Vermont in black letters from right shoulder to left hip. Starting lineups are presented by Martin's Surplus and Salvage with 13 locations throughout Maine. You'll never have to say I should have bought it when I saw it at Martin's. For Maine across the front from left to right, Owen Fowler, Sully Sholey, and Miguel Marcus. On defense, Brandon Holt and Lucas Peterson. In goal, Alvin Boya. 9 games played, a 6-2-1 record, 2.22 goals against average, a .910 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. For Vermont across the front left to right, Colin Kessler, Thomas Sinclair, and Max Strand. On defense, PJ Forgione and Sebastian Tornquist. In goal, getting his first start of the season, Axel Mangbo. 3 games played, 0-0 and 0, 3.61 goals against average, and an .846 save percentage. The opening faceoff was presented by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears. Centering feed broken up there by Kessler. Strand looked to get it in. Second attempt he does. Didn't get it very far. Jurasevich battles for the puck, but now going after it, Jonah Agater. Pushed back toward the point. Maine picks it off and are in possession. Jurasevich ahead for Jaden Lipinski. Sambuco collects the puck as Maine gets a line change. Sambuco works that to Jax Wismer. Vermont has made a number of lineup changes after the 7-0 defeat last night. 5 new players into the lineup for Coach Steve Weidler this evening. Nadeau, good move there by Max Scott to get it around the outside. Jurasevich to Friel behind the net. He's being tied up a little bit there by Agutter. Push back out front. Mangbo looked like he got the paddle of the stick on it. Langlois to Nadeau. Poked up in the air, and we've got a whistle and a stoppage. Face-off is going to stay inside the Vermont zone.
Vermont also a little bit short-handed tonight. Philip Tornquist left the game in the second period last night. Is noticeable his absence, and not in the lineup tonight. So it's part of the line shifting and lineup shifting that you were talking about, Jeff. They actually list 8 defensemen.
Yeah.
And 3 complete forward lines, but 2 on the 4th line. I guess they'll be rotating centers in all likelihood. So undoubtedly looking for some kind of combination of players that are going to give this team some jump and get them out of their offensive funk that they've been in this season.
Yeah, certainly the line's kind of thrown in a blender from last night. That was during the game last night even. But it is 11 forwards and 8 defensemen in the lineup tonight for Vermont. Coming into the game, they have not scored a goal in 124 minutes and 39 seconds. 2 straight games that they have not scored a goal. They've been outscored 12-0 over those 2. A 5-0 loss to BC a week ago tonight at home, and a 7-0 loss last night here. Tyler Dysart with the puck. That one towards Boya. It was Yuzero on the block, as that was Mateo Michaels looking to get it to the net. Now Brock James fires the puck. He's from Falmouth, Maine, number 24 in white. His first game at Alfond Arena. The last time he played was a month ago at Quinnipiac. James with the puck now. Brock James, wraparound chance. Mangbo with the save.
If you want to get into the lineup and stay in the lineup, you make plays like that. Heavy down low, below the goal line. Get in heavy on that forecheck.
Fanned on by Sully Sholey. That allows Dysart to take a shot. A butterfly save by Boya. Sholey on the puck again. Forgione dug it free, but Nobes there to punch it out of the crease. And sent way up ahead as Marcus couldn't quite chase it down. Forgione was there first. Back towards Maine's blue line. Jeremy Langlois to Lipinski just off the bench. Jaden Lipinski knocked down at the blue line by Forgione. Colin Kessler, leading scorer for Vermont this season with 5 assists but no goals.
Yeah, Lipinski worked hard to get the game the red line, but he did not put enough air under that puck to get it past the defenders. He able to glove it down and send it right back towards Maine, but fortunately for Maine, they iced the puck, and that'll give him an offensive end face-off opportunity.
Vermont unable to change personnel as well. Axel Mangbo, the junior netminder from Mole, Sweden, was the starter for the majority of last season, has been supplanted by Aiden Wright, who had started every game this season until tonight. Hand pass is called against Maine.
I disagree with that call because he did play it with his hand, but then he played it with his foot to kick it over to Lipinski. That should have been waved off. I think they're going to bring this out to center ice. Watch as he plays it with a glove, sure. Now, it doesn't go directly to a teammate. See how he plays it with his foot there. That should be a continuation play, but Josh picks it up and it's a whistle. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. They're going to talk about it. We know that. Yeah, the face-off is going to come inside or stay inside.
Yeah, which it would not be if it were a hand pass. Correct. On Maine.
The linesman's angle behind Friel with those bodies in the way. I'm sure he didn't see that, but that's a clever play by Friel to keep it alive.
It is the same officiating crew as last night, by the way. Sam Heideman and Stephen Rouliard are the referees. Trevor Disbennett and Jeff McCorkle are the linesmen. Jurasevich unable to keep it in. Sambuco able to pick up the puck. Langlois did a good job to lean on him and prevent a chance. And a save made by Boya there. He got a piece of it with the stick, with the paddle of the stick to rob Cedric Guindon.
Yeah, good work by Sambuco below the goal line to outwork Langlois and come away with the puck. Gets it to Guindon. Quality scoring chance in the early going. Off the hard work below the goal line by Vermont.
On second look there, that actually was off Thomas Friel's stick and out of play, not Boya's. That one through to Boya. He makes the save. As on the shot was Caden Harrington. Now another try by Wismer that whizzes wide of the net off a stick. Boya able to steer that aside. As Maine looks to win possession in the defensive zone. Brendan Chabrier up to the blue line. Maine able to punch it out to center. Mateo Michaels to Jax Wismer. Michaels got it down low. The shot by Kessler misses the net.
Turnover in a bad spot. Kessler, grade A opportunity. Just missed.
Vermont being much more aggressive on the forecheck to start tonight. It's Chabrier on the backhand. Got it to neutral ice. Charlie Kinsman collects it there. Gives to Duncan Ramsey. He's one of the insertions into the lineup tonight, 27 in green. He's got the puck again after Strand was checked off it. Kessler to Kinsman. Wrist shot blocked down by Giroir. Now Kessler will get it, side of the left circle. Colin Kessler spins away from Peterson. Kinsman wrist shot, another block for Will Giroir. Thomas Sinclair, they'll work it out to Ramsey. Kinsman. Backhands down low. Ramsey didn't get it. Strand does. He falls down with Usero in the area. The shot comes in here, but it is wide of the mark by Sinclair. Might have tipped off a skate on the way. Strand to Kessler. Good zone time for the Catamounts. Strand turns and fires. That missed the net. Trying to get the tip was Agutter. Maine back on it. Off the glass and out. Kinsman quickly re-enters. Dawson good down low. Boya with the great stretch save that time on Vermont's Tyler Dysart, and now we've got a stoppage for a high sticking violation.
Oh, what a save by Albin Boya. Tyler Dysart in good shape. Understands he can't beat him short side, tries to go around to the other side, and Albin Boya flashes out the right pad. What a save by him.
13:28 left in the first. It's scoreless. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Tonight's game at Alfond Arena is sponsored by Veridian Law, a dynamic, forward-thinking law firm with offices along the coast of Maine with a team of driven, experienced, and successful professionals. And today's local business of the game, presented by the City of Old Town, is the Garden Shed, the Bangor area's newest locally owned and operated garden center, gift shop, and house plant heaven, 111 Stillwater Avenue in Orono. Maine able to get the puck into the Vermont zone, as trying to clear it away is Forgione. Scholey turns and fires wide of the net. Holt takes the hit to make the play. Sebastian Tornquist turns it over to Scholey. Now Fowler lifts it a little high for Marcus. Scholey takes the hit. Marcus down there as well for Maine. Vermont comes away with it. Nobes unable to glove it down. Flip back up ahead by Fowler. Forgione got it at his own blue line. Nobes at his own blue line. Marcus to Lipinski. Jaden Lipinski. Behind, wraparound attempt, doesn't get on goal. And Forgione sends ahead. Glove down by Jurasevich. Owen Fowler with a little space He'll shoot that high of Mangbo's net from the red line. Vermont quickly clears away. Langlois from his own blue to Lipinski at the Vermont blue. Blake Steenerson got a hold of it and will get an offside called against Maine.
Well, not exactly the start Maine was looking for. Again, another slow start. Vermont had a solid minute and a half of zone time just a couple of minutes ago as you look at the offside play at the line with Lipinski trying to pull it back in. And if it weren't for Albin Boya, this would be a 1-0 hockey game.
Yeah, made a brilliant save on Tyler Dysart, who was going for his first collegiate goal on the play. Now with it is Colin Kessler. He goes down and Maine will take the penalty.
Wow, it's incredible. Not only do they start slow, they take the first penalty of the game, just like they did last night. This is going to be Thomas Friel for tripping in the neutral zone.
Maine 26, 2 minutes for tripping.
So Vermont goes to the first power play of the game. They were 0 for 2 last night. As we take another look at the trip.
Yeah, you get on the wrong side of your check and try to reach, stick a foot out. That's what happens.
Save made by Boya on the one-timer by Kessler. Vermont on the season is just 3 out of 25 on the power play for 12%.
That starts with a clean face-off win. Nice feed by Jax Wismer over to his defensive partner. One-timer.
Maine's penalty kill, 38 for 49 so far this season for 77.6%. Zone held by Harrington, who gets the puck back. Harrington to Wismer. Wismer, and they'll get it across, looking back door for Harrington. Good breakup by Chabrier. With the puck, Guindon now deflects out to center. Wismer got there ahead of Russell. Wismer over the red and will skate in himself. Guindon. Cedric Guindon. This is deflected up and out of play by Josh Nadeau on that shot attempt.
Yeah, good stick. A lot of penalty killing is stick positioning. And that time Josh does a good job anticipating that he's going to take the shot. Watch as it comes here. Guidon slides it into the middle of the ice. There's Josh right there with the stick.
Block on Max Strand. He was Minnesota's Mr. Hockey, high school hockey player of the year in 2022 at Roseau High School. Strand with it now. Harrington. Caden Harrington. Max Strand, Harrington, side of the left circle. Back to Wismer. Wrist shot. Didn't make it to Boya. Loose in the slot. Fanned on by Kessler. Boya makes a save. And then Strand finds the rebound. And Vermont takes the lead.
Well, the way Maine's been playing, this is kind of inevitable. Max Strand in good position. He's in the bumper position. Wismer from the point. Maine's in pretty good shape because they got a lot of white sweaters there, but Boya's unable to handle the rebound. It comes right back out to Strand. Good job by Guidon to get the puck to Strand, who's in that low slot position just above the blue paint, and he just hammers this puck home. Vermont gets their first goal in, what, 2 weeks?
8 days, yeah. That is the first time that a Vermont player has more than 1 goal this season, as Max Strand scores his second, and he's got the last 2, in fact, for Vermont. Breaks up a string of about 134 minutes without a goal for the Catamounts. Here's Giroir, but it's a hand pass against Maine.
Good job picking our player to profile too, Jeff. Max Strand. Yeah, you called it.
Get another look at the play here. Giroir next to touch it.
Yeah, Maine says Vermont played it, but it's a deflection. It has to be played, intentionally. So it goes as a hand pass, and the faceoff comes back in the defensive zone.
Vermont with the better of shots on goal, 7-2 so far. They have their deserved lead. They couldn't get out to it last night. And they have their first lead of the weekend. And their first lead since they won at New Hampshire 2 weeks ago. A save made by Boya on that try coming down the right wing by Sinclair.
Yeah, quick little feed in the neutral zone by Jens Richards. Sinclair? Yeah, Sinclair. I thought maybe it was 28, but you're right, 26. And they quickly generate some offense by driving to the net. So Vermont's going to feel a little bit better about themselves after the shellacking they took last night. Good on them to come out strong in the first period tonight. And Maine is not off to the start that we had hoped. We had hoped that this would be a continuation of what they did in the third period last night, which was continue to press the attack. So far, that has not been the case.
Maine's got it back now. Charlie Russell over the red. He'll flip it in and go after it. Getting there just in front of Jens Richards. Russell trying to take it away from Wismer. And Kinsman sends ahead, and Steenerson taps it out. Lucas Peterson back to retrieve. Peterson on the rim around. Marcus knocks it down in the corner. Scholey goes after it. Wismer in better position. Dawson good. Kinsman flips it high, knocked down by Peterson. Mateo Michaels shoots in. Boya plays around here, and Maine might have numbers. It's Peterson jumping in the play. Lucas Peterson, wrister, save Mangbo.
A good recovery by Vermont. They got guys back, and they got all five back in the middle of the ice, so very few options for Maine there.
Vermont hoping for another penalty there as Good was pulled down right in front of the bench. It's Ramsey, gave it away. Lipinski to Friel. The wrister is wide to the short side. Holt leaving for Nadeau. Nadeau knocks it down, swept at, and good job to get it out that time by Guindon. Caden Harrington behind the Vermont net. Duncan Ramsey. And Strand almost gave it away. Lipinski has it. He shoots. Save Mangbo. Good job of tracking that through traffic. Kessler shoots it in. Nobes sweeps at it, and Maine's got it. It's a 4-on-4. Nadeau into the zone. Josh Nadeau looking for Lipinski. Giroir. Lipinski twists it out front. Jurasevich. The shot comes in wide of the mark that time by Yuzero. Calafiri cut off behind the net there by Dylan Gratton. Brock James fires behind the net. It's Giroir stopped by Mangbo. James again. Brock James, the Maine native, to Jurasevich. And around it goes. Vermont unable to clear. Loic Yuzero sends back off the end boards. Calafiri. James can't keep the cycle going though. And that is over Yuzero's head. Kessler, 1-on-3, takes the shot, stopped by Boya.
Maine's fourth line providing energy. That's a new combination with Brock James centering Anthony Calafiri and Will Giroir.
Poirier all the way, but a save by Mangbo.
Tough angle shot though. Hard to score from there. He tries to go upstairs.
Max Scott, it's gloved by Mangbo as Poirier is dumped in front of the net, and that'll draw a crowd.
Well, you want to be a goal scorer, you got to go to the dirty areas of the ice, and that's a good sign that Justin Poirier, we know he's a sniper, but he's willing to get into that combat zone in front of the net. Takes the punishment. That's what you have to do sometimes.
We'll hear from Jack Webb when we get back. Vermont leads Maine 1-0 with 6:40 to go in the first. It's Hockey East on ESPN+.
Nation, let's Welcome back in, folks. Black Bear forward as the student section goes crazy. Black Bear forward and Falmouth, Maine native Brock James is in the lineup tonight, making his first appearance in Alphon Arena. Now, the Mainer has told us it's absolutely an honor to wear the script, and it's so special to represent your home state, but it hasn't been easy for Brock James. Head coach Ben Barr tells us it took him a while to adjust to the Division I game, but he said he's been able to string a couple great weeks of practice together, has worked hard, and that's cracked the lineup. That's allowed him to crack the lineup tonight. Now, I can say with my own two eyes, every time we have media availability on Tuesdays, I see Brock James out here 40, 50 minutes after practice, still working on his game, so it's hard work and determination which has allowed him to play tonight.
As Maine looks to go to work in the offensive zone, down 1-0, 6.5 minutes to go in the first period. A block, Poirier a shot. It's blocked wide of the net. And Harrington to Steenerson. He gave it away to Poirier. Taken back, though, quickly by Sambuco for the Catamounts. Harrington reverses direction for Kessler, or Steenerson, rather. And now with it is Charlie Russell. Russell to Lucas Peterson. He'll peel back, though, and get off for a line change all the way down. Vermont is called for icing the puck.
Yeah, Vermont doesn't like that call. Maine was in a line change. Somebody could have played it, but if they had, it would have been too many men on the ice. Vermont's complaining about it. Let's see if they bring it back. Put it at center ice. So far, they're sticking with the call. Maine had too many men on the ice last night in the early going. A little bit of confusion. That's kind of a trick that teams try to do when they sense teams are changing. They throw the puck down that way and try to get somebody to touch it that shouldn't be on the ice, or get on the ice too early, or somebody who's coming off touches it. Happens all the time, but they are sticking with that icing call.
Yeah, you saw them talk about it there for a moment, much to the chagrin of the Vermont staff, most likely. Marcus with the puck. Miguel Marcus, a goal and 3 assists last night for the Nashville Predators draft pick. Marcus is able to hold the zone, but he gave it away that time to Agutter. And Agutter played it in, but from behind the red line. Another icing on the Catamounts.
A close one, too. So another offensive zone draw for Maine. Send out the Lipinski line.
With Friel and Nadeau. Yuzero and Jurasevich at the point positions at the moment. Josh Nadeau centers for Lipinski. Great one-timer. He doesn't know where it is. Does Mangbo? It ends up coming free, but after the whistle.
What a great play off the face-off. Set play. Josh Nadeau on the left wing side, cuts to the middle. Gets the puck, watch him pick it up there, throws it back to Lipinski for the one-timer. Man, he gets a lot on it. And he was fronted by a defender and throws it into the jungle in front of Mangbo. He's not able to control it, but it must have been under him because he drew the whistle.
5:26 to go in the first. It's 1-0 Vermont. This hockey is on ESPN+. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters most to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And Let's Go Black Bears IPA from Orono Brewing Company is the official beer of Black Bear Nation. Fill your steins with pride because a portion of all sales gets donated back to Maine Athletics. Max Strand has the only goal so far. Cedric Gangdon and Colin Kessler with the assists. At 9:02 of the first period on the power play. That's the only goal so far. Vermont cashed in the only power play of the game so far. Just their 4th power play goal as a team this season. 1-0 Vermont. Maine looking to change that. Nadeau with the shot through traffic, turned away by Mangbo. Pass back for the point, intercepted by Kessler, cleared ahead to Strand. He'll shoot that in. Tracked down by Guindon. Cedric Guindon gives it away. Off glass and out through. No icing on the play though, because it rolled on net. Kessler works that back to Dylan Granton. Caden Harrington. Kessler. Kessler to Steenerson to flip in. Steenerson cranks it off the outside of the goal. Brock James has it for Maine. He'll shoot that up ahead. Might be icing if it has enough steam. Not quite. With the puck, Sambuco looking to clear. Harrington behind the Vermont net. Daniel Sambuco. Got that to Sinclair. Sambuco takes the hit from Nobes. That jarred the puck free for Holtz. Holt to James, turned and backhanded it down ice. Sebastian Tornquist didn't handle it cleanly. Vermont could have had numbers the other way. Now it's PJ Forgione. Forgione, first-year defenseman. And here comes Dysart. He was stood up at the blue line by Max Scott. Maine's gonna get it. It's a 2-on-1. Russell. Russell shoots it a little bit too high. He had Poirier with him, but the passing lane was shut down. Now we've got a whistle behind the play. It's a penalty on Vermont.
Russell was really being bothered from behind, so he decided to shoot it and got a good shot.
Vermont, number 16. Minor penalty for tripping.
Dysart going to pick up a tripping penalty, so Maine will get their first power play opportunity with 3:19 to go in the first period.
Good chance for Maine to get even as we'll take another look at the play that resulted in the penalty.
Well, this is the opportunity by Russell, and he's being hounded from behind. Didn't catch a number, but good job recovering as Russell got a quality scoring chance off the rush. It was a 2-on-1 initially.
The Maine Power Play is brought to you by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. Maine was 2 for 5 last night.
Wow.
Mangbo with the save on that drive by Max Scott.
Yeah, well executed play. Clean face-off win, goes over to Poirier. Right to Max Scott, who rotated to the middle of the ice. Watch as Max Scott releases. He's in the bumper position, beautifully executed. Excellent opportunity as Maine pays the price. That's Thomas Friel getting harassed at the net front. Trying to provide that screen. Excuse me, Jeff.
Maine's power play 9 of 47 for the season, 19.1%. Vermont's penalty kill 26 of 37, 70.3%. Shot there by Poirier, stopped by Mangbo. Rebound way up in the air behind the net. Nadeau's got it. Nadeau finds Poirier. Poirier, top of the right circle, across. Can't connect it to Nadeau, though.
Great idea. Had him in perfect position. He would have had to turn and settle the puck, but he was in good position with nobody near him. The puck just skipped on him.
Brandon Holt drops it off for Scott to carry. Nadeau enters the zone. Josh Nadeau, forehand shot blocked wide by Kinsman. Nadeau couldn't quite get the bouncing puck back to Holt. Now he does. Poirier shoots it, save. Mangbo, rebound, didn't quite make it to Mangbo by Scott. Good try, though. Now here's Holt. Holt. Max Scott. Scott's wrister blocked down. Poirier. Pass deflected. Vermont takes it. Cleared up ahead by the Catamounts as Holt goes to get it. Some fresh penalty killers come on for Vermont. Maine will change out the power play unit. Lipinski is first off the bench. He flies in to get the puck. Dawson Good takes it away. Sambuco off glass, and Peterson couldn't hold it in. And now racing after it to get a chance is Sinclair, shorthanded. Boya shuts the door. Lucas Peterson. Time for one more power play rush for Maine. Charlie Russell tried to get it deep. Sholey to Russell. Make that Fowler to Russell. Peterson. Power play ticks away. Marcus picks up the puck. Maine 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Russell. Down low, Lipinski's there. Mangbo, though, is able to dive on top of the puck and cover.
Really good positioning by Lipinski. He tries to catch it with his foot. And good job by Russell to deliver it. Watch as he moves laterally to his right. And there's Lipinski on the doorstep. He's got to try to settle it with his foot because it's not in a shooting position for him. Mangbo comes up and covers that puck. Prior to that, I want to talk about the curl and drag move by Justin Poirier. Man, what a move. Inside the right circle, just really fooled the defender, pulled it into his body. The guys that can do that are so effective to change the angle of the shot. That's all it takes to beat the goaltender. Unfortunately, Poirier shot it up over the net, but what a move to get him into triggering position.
Vermont wins that defensive zone draw and clears the zone. Jurasevich up to Anthony Calafieri. Now it is Scholey turning and firing. He just missed. Langlois as we hit the last minute of the first period. Gerrois. And now with the puck is Strand, the only goal scorer so far, shoots in. Boya. Frank Jurasevich. Jurasevich on that left wing. Pitchforked in by Gerrois to Calafieri. Anthony Calafieri out-muscled by Wismer. And now Kessler whips around for the Catamounts. Jurasevich gets there in front of Agutter. 15 seconds to go in the period. Gerrois lifts it out on the backhand as Gratton is back to get it. Jax Wismer. And this is all the way down. And Maine gets to the dots with 2 seconds to go, so they'll get an offensive zone faceoff off the icing.
2 seconds is barely enough time to do anything, but they'll take a look at the clock. Maybe, I don't know if they're going to come over and make an adjustment, maybe add half a second, but guess not. So it'll be 2 seconds to go. You're going to have to win it cleanly, and you're going to have to get it probably on net. But Scott has a left-handed shot in the right wing, so that's not the play. You can see how he's set up. He's going to try to drive back on his backhand to Marcus. Or Poirier, excuse me. 93, not 43.
He lost the face-off, so the period expires. And a little pushing and shoving after the fact between Russell and Gratton.
Yeah, this doesn't really help. You know, you got to stay focused. You can't get involved in this sort of thing. Charlie Russell's been doing that the last few weeks, but kind of walking that fine line. That's not really what you need. I mean, I love the physical engagement and the emotional engagement that you can benefit from that. But you've got to stay out of the penalty box. So no penalties called. So Maine. Well, both teams go to the dressing room, but not the start they were looking for as the period went on. It got a little bit better for Maine. Maine is leading shots on goal 14-10. At one point it was 7 or 8 to 1 or 2. So they've managed to right the ship in terms of times in the offensive zone, shots on goal, and so forth. But trail 1-0.
And Jack Webb is ice side right now with Vermont's goal scorer, Max Strand.
Max, you guys came out with a clear jump. What was the message in the locker room to respond from last night?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last night wasn't the game we wanted to play. Didn't get the result we wanted, so kind of had a fire lit under us today, and I feel like just right from the jump we knew what we had to do, and I feel like we got it done that period.
You're the reason this game is. You guys do have a 1-0 lead, scoring that lone goal. What'd you see on that play?
Yeah, it was a good battle in the net front by Colin there. Kicked it out to the weak side to Seti, and Seti just threw it out front, and I was ready to tap it in.
What's your team got to do these next 2 periods to come out of here with a win?
I think just sticking to our process, playing the game that we want to play, that we've been working on, and I think just trusting each other and trusting ourselves to go over the boards each and every shift and do our job.
Max, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys.
Thanks so much, Jack. Through 1 period of play, it's the Vermont Catamounts with a 1-0 lead on the Maine Black Bears. Our Bangor Savings Bank intermission report begins next. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. It's 1-0 Vermont at the end of one period at Alfond Arena here in Orono, Maine. And it is time for our Black Bear Intermission Report presented by Bangor Savings Bank. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters most to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And right now we are joined in the booth. It is Viderian Law Night here at Alfond Arena, and we are joined by corporate attorney and managing director at Viderian Law, Jeff Spalding. Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. It's Veridian Law, actually.
Veridian, my apologies.
Thanks for having me.
Yes,
really appreciate being here.
Yeah, very happy to have you here. Well, tell us a little bit about Veridian Law.
Yeah, so it's semi-newly established, but at the same time, it's not really new. It was founded by a number of attorneys who had decades of experience in a number of different practice areas who decided they wanted to kind of do their own thing and set their own vision. So we've really enjoyed doing that, and we have practice areas kind of covering the normal areas that you'd expect for a Maine law firm, but also some other kind of cool things like we work a lot with university spin-out companies and technology companies, so the research labs there, and just very, very interesting practice areas. Offices in the coast of Maine and Ellsworth and Portland.
Very good, and obviously with the Black Bear shirt on here, there's a lot of connections with Maine, so tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, probably like most businesses in the state, we have a lot of Maine alums here, both the graduate and professional kind of studies at UMaine. And like I said, we're very kind of connected to the research aspects of the university as well. So, a lot of people that are kind of that lived through the first round of Maine's kind of powerhouse, almost came of age, went to college during that period, and now are kind of feeling the nostalgia and ready for kind of round two. That's how I describe it.
Absolutely. Why is the partnership with Maine hockey especially important to you?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons that we really like it. I mean, this is kind of a seminal community event. It really brings everybody out in this part of Maine, and so we're really proud to be a part of that. And we also just have a lot of kind of employees that and their families that play hockey. So it was kind of a natural connection. We had a number of season ticket holders, and this is kind of the next level for us. Yeah. So it's been great. We've been really happy to be a partner.
Fantastic. Jeff Spalding again from Veridian Law. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me. Mike
Toole will be back with me when we come back, and we'll look at the first period highlights and stats. The Vermont Catamounts lead the Maine Black Bears 1-0. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Hockey East on ESPN+ through one period. The Maine Black Bears are behind the Vermont Catamounts by a score of 1-0. Back in our Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth, Mike Toole is alongside me. I'm Jeff Mannix. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first period, as Vermont did get on the board first here and really was generating the good chances early in the game.
Very, very similar to last night. Misplay there. This is Tyler Dysart who picks up the loose puck. Fires it in on Alvin Boya. Alvin Boya was good in the early going, but you can see here as they fire the puck in, they're getting opportunities. They're buzzing the net in the early going and relentless in the way they attack. This is Dysart again at the net front, tries the readjustment to try to send it on the other side, and Boya makes the right pad save. This is the power play goal. Good job on puck retrieval by Guidon to get it to Strand in the slot. Here's another look at it, as Kessler misfiles, but Guidon on the puck retrieval right out to Strand. He's covered, but they don't take his hands away. And this is a good job by Poirier. Good goal scorers know where the net is, and even though he's at a wide angle, there was some net to shoot at as I look at that replay again. At first I didn't think so, but Poirier almost tied the hockey game there. This is Charlie Russell being chased from behind, limiting his options, so he decides to take the shot. Watch this curl and drag move. Originally, I thought he'd shot it over the net, but he forced Mangbo to make a really good save there. This is Lipinski on the doorstep. It wasn't in his wheelhouse, so he had to play with his foot, unable to get it back to his stick, but good save there by Mangbo, and he hung on.
Vermont was leading in shots on goal fairly early, 7-2. Maine with the advantage now, but clearly, I'm sure a lot to talk about for Ben Barr.
Oh, I'm sure he's, he's having a word with the boys in the dressing room right now. The stats are pretty good in terms of, shots on goal for Maine. Actually, as I look at the shot chart, Maine's quality scoring opportunities in the period were 10 versus 8 for Vermont. So that's a good thing. I mean, as the period went on, I think Maine started to get their game together a little bit, but they're still facing a 1-goal deficit.
We'll have the second period face-off when we get back. It's the Vermont Catamounts leading the Maine Black Bears 1-0 through one period. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Hockey East on ESPN Plus returns to Alfond Arena at the University of Maine in Orono. Last night it was Maine leading 1-0 after a period. Tonight it is Vermont leading 1-0 after one. The Black Bears will certainly hope for a similar second period to last night. Maine scored 4 of the eventual 7 goals that they put on the board in the middle frame. There's Ben Barr, won his 76th game as Maine's coach last night. I'm sure it was special to get his 75th win last weekend at UMass, where he was the associate head coach for Greg Carvel and the Minutemen for the 5 seasons before he arrived at Maine as the head coach, helping them win the 2021 National Championship.
Well, you didn't have long to celebrate before they turned right back around, and just when you think you've got it figured out in this league, you get humbled.
Second period opening face-off is brought to you by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears. Crowd is into it early in the second, and the shot by Holt is stopped by Mangbo.
Shot had a lot on it, but Maine had no net front presence as the puck was coming in. Subsequently, they try to assert some influence as you look at the replay there. Watch the whole shot by Holt. It's got a lot on it from distance, but Mangbo is able to see that all the way as Owen Fowler gets in there looking for some loose change, but whistle had blown. Owen Fowler has a high tolerance for punishment. He's willing to get into that dirty area and go to work, and it's kind of, he's a lunch paler at heart, but he has a tremendous amount of skill. It's a great combination. It's kind of like, it's kind of like some of the guys in the NHL, like the Bruins. I'm spacing out on.
Like a Mikey Asimont type?
Well, I was thinking Brad Marchand,
Marchand,
but,
okay.
I don't know if we can reference him anymore since he's not a Bruin.
Oh, sure you can. He's a Nova Scotia boy.
That's true.
Albin Boya with the puck here. And coming away with it is Peterson, having to win a one-on-one battle. Scholey knocks it down with a glove, but it's right back out again. Strand hard off glass and into the zone for the chase by, that's Agutter. Holtz to Peterson. He'll whip it on net, trying to catch Mangbo off guard, but he was ready for that. Fowler poking it free, but cleared ahead by Jonah Agutter again. And now Daniel Sambuco. Good, tied up by Langlois behind the net, and it's Josh Nadeau with the puck for the Black Bears. Jeremy Langlois, draft pick in 2022 of the then Arizona Coyotes, now of course the Utah Mammoth. And this one shot back in again by the Black Bears, but the first to it is Ramsey. As Vermont looks to turn it out again. Getting to their game much better tonight than they did last night. Here's Harrington. He'll flip that all the way around. And off the stick of Jens Richards. And Maine back in possession. Nadeau to Langlois. Cross ice, that hit Thomas Friel. It was intended for Lipinski. And now they'll all get off for a change. Steenerson into the zone. There's Boya. Gives to Usero. Brandon Chabrier. Over the red. Just wide of Mangbo's net to his right. As Jack Malinsky looked to clear the zone. Chabrier, good back check to prevent a scoring chance there. From Thomas Sinclair. And now Russell gets to the puck first at the goal line. Immediately got tied up though by Malinsky. As more bodies join the battle. And Max Scott got it. But now Sinclair wedging his stick between the boards and the player. Maine comes away with it. They shoot. It's wide. And a penalty coming against Maine as Charlie Russell got a little bit too close to Mangbo and ran into him.
Yeah, he did. And Mangbo goes down as Russell drives to the blue paint. There's a scrum in the right wing corner. Maine somehow comes away with this puck, even though they weren't in great position for support-wise. They were both behind the puck, all three of those guys along the wall, but they came away with it. Drive to the net front. Charlie Russell a little bit too enthusiastic as he gets to the blue paint, gets a piece of Mangbo. He'll get Maine's second penalty tonight. This will be goaltender interference.
Maine number 11, 2 minutes for goaltender interference.
Thought for a second they might have been looking at a Vermont player to take with them, but no, this will be a Vermont power play, their second opportunity of the evening.
Catamounts scored on their first. And they will send their top unit on. This is the unit that produced the goal. And good face-off win by Guindon. Strands, Colin Kessler, Cedric Guindon in the corner. Kessler, Caden Harrington. Harrington, side of the left circle. Down low, not handled by Strands. Back out to the point, Wismer didn't get it, and all the way back down it goes.
Yeah, misplay along the right wing wall. Maine applied a little bit of pressure, but a play that they should have been able to make, throwing it back to the point, just not precise with the puck. So they sent it 200 feet. Thank you, says Maine.
Wismer going 200 feet himself. Whipped back around. Harrington was flat-footed. He does get there to keep it in, but only momentarily as he gives it away. Fowler, short-handed. Fowler with Nadeau. He tries the shot. It gets the end glass off the block. Wismer. Over the red, he'll skate it in himself. Harrington, who's dropped a glove. Kessler. Colin Kessler. Bank pass to Wismer. Harrington now has that glove back. And Guindon got it to Wismer for the shot that's wide. Guindon, side of the right circle. One-timer Harrington kicked away by Boya. Wismer, Strands, Wismer, chopped at by Fowler, and Maine able to get it out. It's in Nadeau's skates, and he will get it deep.
Yeah, that allows Maine to get some fresh bodies on the ice. They've been out there for a little while.
Vermont in no hurry. As Charlie Russell is released from the penalty box, and we're back to 5-on-5. Brandon Chabrier trying to get away from pressure. Sinclair in his sweater there. Chabrier got it ahead to Calafiri. Sebastian Tornquist loses to Giroir. Will Giroir run into Scholey, side of the net. And now it's Tornquist high off the glass. Sebastian Tornquist. Tornquist to the red line, backhands in. Boya gets a stick to it. Holt around for Gerrois. He bumps that one to Chabrier. Back to Gerrois. Gerrois spinning around Calafiri. Put up the boards and cleared out by Richards. Lipinski to Langlois. He'll shoot that deep. Mengbo slowed it down. Maine gets it back. Peterson fanned on the pass. Now he shoots, and it's tipped wide of the net by Friel. High up in the air, knocked down by Thomas Friel again. He's dumped over by Ramsey. Lipinski, big man in the corner for Maine. Langlois to Peterson, fakes a shot. Peterson tries off a skate. Langlois, that one off the blocker of Mengbo and wide. And Vermont ices the puck to relieve the pressure.
What a great job by Lipinski in the left wing corner. Fights off the body contact. Gets it back to Langlois at the point. Over to Peterson. That's two freshman defensemen out there at the same time. Watch Langlois sends it on net. Good net front presence. Lipinski there. And now they send it down the ice to relieve the pressure. Maine's coming right back with an offensive zone draw. Vermont unable to change.
Catamounts won the face-off, and they'll get it out to center. Yuzero up the board. Steenerson, though, a big guy for the Catamounts, kept it alive. But now Maine races through center ice. It's Poirier to get it in. Forgione took it back. Sinclair off the boards all the way down. Race to the dots. Won by Jurasevich. Icing again on Vermont.
Like the puck pursuit by Poirier in the left wing corner. Get down there, get the puck in. Pressure the defenseman. Apply pressure, you force them to make mistakes and do things they don't want to do. They certainly don't want to keep icing the puck and allow Maine to reset in the offensive zone.
Scott against Sinclair on the faceoff. Scott looking to dig it free. It's Mateo Michaels who came away with it. Poirier poked it to Scott. Scott for Charlie Russell. Russell looking for Poirier, didn't make the connection, and the zone cleared by Tyler Dysart. Loic Yuzero. Yuzero, some good forward speed. Russell spinning away from Michaels. Forgione, good play to get that to Guindon. Cedric Guindon missed Michaels. Brandon Holt drags behind the net. Holt will take his time. Holtz up the middle. Shoots in off the left wing glass. Scholey. And now it is Fowler. Owen Fowler got hooked a little bit. Here's Holt. Got it to the front. Save Mengbo on Scholey, who was right on the doorstep. Point blank save. Fowler turning. Blocked away by Cedric Guindon. He's a Montreal Canadiens draft pick. Nobes up the boards for Maine. Nobes got it back, finds Fowler at the red, looking to go to Scholey, but Wismer has the puck, and Jax Wismer. Kessler off his stick and into the zone. Chabrier tracks it down and finds Langlois. Long pass, tipped into the zone there by Brock James. First time we've seen him take a shift in a little bit. Calafiri shoots it deep. Around it goes. Jens Richards for Vermont. He takes the hit from Calafiri.
Right now, Maine is winning the puck retrieval war, if you will. They're first on loose pucks, and that's generating extra time in the offensive zone.
Calafiri at the blue. Calafiri, good pass, not handled though by James. Langlois poked it free. We've got a whistle, we've got a penalty against Vermont. Looks like a penalty anyway.
Looks like high sticking, but
Vermont number 14, minor penalty for high stick.
Maine will be on the power play when we get back. It's 1-0 Vermont. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Renewal by Anderson, the official replacement window and door company of the Black Bears. Dean's Detailing has been Maine's auto detailing leader since 1971. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your investment, and enjoy the ride. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by University Credit Union, where Black Bears bank, and they want to know, how do you see you? Open your UCU account today at ucumaine.com, federally insured by NCUA.
High sticking penalty to Dawson Good gives Maine an opportunity to further their offensive game, and it's been in pretty good shape the last few minutes. They're winning the puck retrievals. They're first on loose pucks, winning puck battles, extending time in the offensive zone. Now it's time to put one in the net.
Power play brought to you by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. Black Bears 0 for 1 so far, looking to get on the board and tie the score. Holt to Scott. Scott didn't have the shooting lane, gives to Holt. Nadeau, wrist shot. That one hits a body and goes wide, and we'll get a whistle as the puck did go off the rink before rebounding back.
Yeah, caught a little netting, so that'll allow players to reset. Offensive zone face-off, get another look at the shot by Nadeau. Gets redirected in front, ends up in the netting. Maine had good net front presence. Thomas Friel, that's his office, I think. Sets up camp in front like nobody's business. He's also good at keeping his hands free and his stick available, getting redirects and rebounds.
Maine's second power play unit on now. Russell to Peterson. Owen Fowler, right circle. Right point, Peterson. Left circle, Marcus. Peterson, they'll get it to Russell, who snapped his stick, or didn't get great contact with it as he missed the net. It's Peterson. Top of the slot, Marcus fakes the one-timer, shoots the wrister, blocked down, and sent wide by Russell, back out front, and it's off the stick of Richards and away from the slot, and now cleared by Kinsman.
Yeah, best chance of the sequence. Charlie Russell in that bumper position, misfires. Unfortunate there. He was in great position and is well set up.
Owen Fowler enters the zone with Russell. Lipinski to Peterson. Marcus fakes, now shoots, it's blocked. Found its way right back to Peterson. Lucas Peterson. Rister, save Mengbo with the stick. Lipinski got it out front, Russell. Russell shoots and missed.
Tried to improve his angle.
Peterson skating into it and just missed the net, and it'll bound all the way down.
Can't miss on the far side because it always rebounds out. Defenseman had vacated the position down a little bit, looking for a rebound. Allows that puck to come out of the zone.
Back to 5-on-5. Vermont has killed the penalty. And back on it is Cedric Guindon. And losing it was Jurasevich. Marcus pushes it back for Jurasevich. Jeremy Langlois. Poirier. Big collision with Colin Kessler. And Marcus loses the puck to Cedric Guindon. Guindon got that to Kessler. Kessler coming in front. Boy, and a save. And looks like a penalty coming against the Black Bears.
Yeah, a lot of sticks in there. I think it's going to be Jurasevich going to get the hooking call as Guindon was driving to the net front.
So Vermont will be on another power play when we get back. It's the Catamounts leading the Black Bears 1-0.
Maine 44, 2 minutes for hockey.
When we return, this is Hockey East on ESPN+.
Welcome back into Alphon Arena. Maine forward Josh Nadeau is on fire. 7 points through his last 3 games, including 5 goals. When I asked Josh about how he's having success, where it's coming from, he gave me the humble hockey answer. He said, I'm just in the zone. I asked head coach Ben Barr and said when Josh is being active with his feet, he said he's unstoppable. Now, Ben Barr also said that there's opportunities Josh is leaving out there by maybe holding the puck a little too long or not moving his feet. So look for Josh to be active tonight as Ben Barr's getting on him to do so.
Thanks, Jack. It's Vermont on their 3rd power play of the game. Frank Jurasevich picking up a hooking penalty. Catamounts 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Wismer, Harrington fake the drive. Harrington wrister, that one off the stick of Strand and wide. Now Boya covers as it was off Strand's skate and into the crease.
They overload the right wing side, try to get the puck down low. Strand trying to get it to the net front. Comes off his backhand right to Boya, who's able to seal this puck. Prevent any further play in and around his privileged area.
Penalty killers for Maine are Scott, Chabrier, Usero, and Russell. Wrister by Wismer, saved by Boya. The rebound chopped all the way down by Brandon Chabrier.
Yeah, quick recovery by Chabrier. Came in hot on Boya. Unable to control the rebound at first on it with Chabrier. Immediately sends it down ice.
Wismer to Kessler. Colin Kessler does get into the zone off a main stick. Big hit by Usero on Strand. Usero, though, had his stick tied up by Kessler and taken away. Scott can't clear. Wismer back around. Chabrier. It's Guindon getting it back to Wismer at the left point. Wismer turns. Harrington poked away from him, but Wismer walks into it and misses. Guindon, right circle. Guindon across the slot. Harrington back for Wismer. Harrington toward the goal line, looking for a passing angle. Banks back for Wismer. One-timer, that time by Guindon, stopped by Boya. And now Russell comes out with it. Charlie Russell. Been killing the whole time. Down to 10 seconds to go on the penalty.
Yeah, one guy working on 3. Good job by Charlie Russell. Get it down there, just kill so much time. This is going to about do it on the power play for Vermont.
Jurasevich rejoins the play. And we're back to 5-on-5. Maine might get a chance. Will Giroir! Giroir scores! Will Giroir ties the game on the breakaway!
Well, Giroir is somebody we've been talking about all season. He's on that 4th line and brings a lot of energy, and this time he just opportunistically jumps on a loose puck in the neutral zone. Puck's a little bit ahead of him. He's able to catch up to it. He's being chased from behind. He goes forehand, backhand, and beats Axel Mangbo to the glove side. Watch as he puts it. He gets Mangbo to commit. Mangbo can't get his left pad back over to the post. Great job by Will Giroir. So Maine finally breaks through on a busted play in the neutral zone. On a great finish by Will Giroir.
Second goal of the season for the freshman from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Lucas Peterson collects in at his own blue line. As Sinclair got a little shot in on Calafieri. Sinclair blocked and now tries again. Boya the save, and he hangs on.
That's a good response by Vermont. I mean, Maine finally battles back and ties the hockey game, and Vermont comes right back on the attack, so good on them.
There might be a penalty coming out of that scrum after the whistle.
Yeah, might be Dawson Good. He looks a little shaken up.
Yep.
Came in on Boya a little bit too enthusiastically. This
Vermont number 14, minor penalty.
Roughing call will put Maine back on the power play when we return. 4:46 to go in the second. We're tied at 1. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Buy official fan gear at the official fan shop of the Black Bears. Bear Necessities Fan Shop. Open 24/7 at goblackbears.com/shop. That's goblackbears.com/shop. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A. Visit your Chick-fil-A location in Bangor today. And if you're buying or selling a home, call the official home team of the Black Bears. Berkshire Hathaway, the Emily Ellis team, and CMG Financial. These all-stars have you covered for all your real estate needs, and they make a donation to Maine Athletics for every sale. Tell them Bananas sent you. Roughing penalty to Dawson, good, and Maine is back on the Versant power play, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. Poirier just missed. Scott, Friel were both there, neither could get it on net, and it's cleared all the way down.
The main strategy on the power play is to isolate Poirier. He's the best shooter on the team, obviously, and that time he got him set up.
Friel tried to go back to Holt with it, but it leaves the zone. Holt's without a stick now. He just kicked it back toward Boya. Poirier tries to dig the puck out, but with it instead, Mateo Michaels. That's a big hit by Michaels, but Maine gets the puck. Justin Poirier trying to go one-on-one. Poirier, what a move! Poirier back out front, and a block. A great diving block that time by Sinclair on the try by Scott.
Well, you said it, Jeff. Excellent move by Poirier to get himself into position to find Scott. Look at this inside-outside move. Now he's got time and space. He looks for Scott. Scott in grid triggering position. He's kind of fading away from him into the middle of the slot, and you said it, Sinclair lays out and just gets a piece of this puck and sends it up into the netting.
Still 53 seconds on the Maine power play. Maine's got a 2-on-1 now. Russell closed down, and the shot goes wide. He didn't realize there was that much pressure from behind.
Yeah, Sambuco right behind him. Good back checking.
Marcus. Lipinski back to Marcus. Peterson. Lipinski and Peterson. Marcus save Mangbo. In the corner. Russell tried to center. Sinclair cut it off, and it's cleared down by Malinsky.
Lipinski was open, called for the puck, and the window just closed in time for Vermont.
Owen Fowler to Russell. Russell checks up at the blue line. Lipinski goes to get it along the end boards. Fowler to Russell. Peterson, penalty over to Good. Fowler looking for Lipinski. Mangbo the save. Vermont will ice the puck.
Now third power play opportunity for Maine goes for naught once again. One of the keys to the game that we talked about was getting your special teams in order, or special teams execution. So far tonight, Vermont 1 for 3 on the power play as we look at that last sequence. There's Lipinski on the doorstep. Maine unable to keep it in the zone. They had the looks that they wanted, but Vermont is, in their desperation to defend, has just gotten a piece of the puck either as it's coming on net or prevented a cross-ice pass to people in prime scoring position.
Jurasevich couldn't reach it. No icing, though, on the play. Good job by Jens Richards to win the race. Langlois. Jurasevich did a decent job to get the skate to that and control it.
Yeah, these are little micro mistakes we talked a little bit about last night. Sometimes you call it puck management, sometimes you call it puck precision, and little unforced errors. They don't necessarily lead to anything terrible for your team, but it prevents you from getting maybe an opportunity. We've seen it a couple times here tonight.
Drop back for Harrington. Boya with the save, and there is no rebound.
Boya out at the top of his crease. He knows the shot's coming, anticipates there's not going to be a pass. Primary option is to shoot. To give him that kind of time, and he understands there's no other option. He's going to make that save most of the time.
So we'll get the face-off to the right of Boya. And it's Vermont's Kessler with the puck. Colin Kessler turns and was looking for a stick in front. They couldn't redirect it on net. Wismer, that's turned over. Max Scott, some dangerous stick handles to try to keep it away, but works out. A block there, and Maine looks for the quick up. Will make it for icing, though, against the Black Bears.
I thought somebody from Maine got a piece of that puck on the way by, but it must have been on the wrong side of the red line. So
it was. Get an inside look at Black Bear Athletics at the Black Bear Coaches Show Wednesday nights at the Sea Dog Brewing Company at 6 in Bangor. If you can't make it in person, tune in on the Black Bear Sports Network, the Black Bear Nation app, or go blackbears.com. Scott against Sinclair on this faceoff. Sinclair's been good at the dot tonight. Harrington, another save by Boya.
Harrington tries to get it in front because he knows he got a moving screen in front of Boya, but it doesn't set up just quickly enough. Watch Harrington move to the middle. Yeah, see there, they didn't quite get in front of him. It's a moving screen provided by Good. Didn't quite get there in time. Boya's able to see this all the way.
Another face-off to Boya's right. Maine controls, and they'll come out quickly. Friel on the left wing, looking to get it around Harrington. Friel and Harrington battle in that left wing corner. A lot of stick paddles in the corners tonight. Both teams want it. Lipinski for Maine, able to get it back to Holt. Holt wrist shot and right pad saved by Bangbo.
That's great work by Lipinski using his body to get leverage.
Lipinski to Nadeau, that's blocked and cleared by Vermont.
Once he gets clear, he gets it to Holt, who gets a good wrister away, but nice work by Lipinski, who had to fight off 2 to 3 Vermont defenders in the left wing corner.
Owen Fowler sealed up the boards. Keep the puck in Maine's possession. And Nadeau tried to center. Mangbo had to sweep it away from Fowler. Under 20 seconds to go in the period. Sholey tried it. That one high off the glass. Nadeau, that one off a leg and wide. Langlois to Fowler, but he loses to Kessler. Kessler flips it up and out. Marcus will turn and give to Jurasevich as time runs out in the second period. But Maine has gotten on level terms on the breakaway goal by Will Gerrois.
Yeah, they got the tying goal. Great individual effort by Gerrois. Good anticipation in the neutral zone to pick up that loose puck and an excellent finish. Maine, you get the sense that they're getting their offensive game together, but it hasn't shown up on the scoreboard yet other than the goal by Gerrois.
And now we've got Jack Webb standing ice side with Maine's latest goal scorer, Will Gerrois.
Will, you gave your team in Alfond Arena exactly what they needed to get in this game, how to feel, to walk us through that first goal.
It feels great. It was a great play by our D to step up there and break up that rush going the other way. And I just saw the loose puck, saw 2 guys chasing me down, and lucky to make a play there.
I mean, a breakaway finish in Alfond Arena. Your first goal in Alfond Arena, that one had to be special.
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, this place is just electric, and there's nothing like it.
What your team got to do here in the third is secure a win and secure a sweep, another hockey sweep here this season.
We got to stick to our game, get pucks in deep, and just fucking grind the game. Sorry.
All right, thanks, Will.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thanks so much, Jack. After 2 periods of play, the Maine Black Bears have pulled even with the Vermont Catamounts. The score is 1-1. The Bangor Savings Bank second intermission report begins next. You're watching Hockey East on ESPN+. second intermission at Alfond Arena. The Maine Black Bears and the Vermont Catamounts are knotted at 1 goal apiece. Our second intermission report is brought to you by Bangor Savings Bank. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters most to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Now from our Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth, I'm Jeff Mannix alongside Mike Toole. Better period that time for the Black Bears as they were able to get on the scoreboard and tie the game. Yeah, indeed. You get the sense that Maine's got their offensive game going a little bit better this period. More chances, more time in the offensive zone, and the great finish by Will Gerwa. Let's take a look at the second period highlights as that goal would come fairly late in the period as Maine had to get some work done before they were able to get that goal. Well, there's a shot by Brandon Holt. He's always dangerous from distance. He does a good job getting that puck in. Here's Guidon feeding Jax Wismer, top of the offensive zone. Maine applying pressure in the offensive zone of their own. A little bit of misfire there, but there's traffic in front, some redirects, pucks and bodies to the net. We always talk about it. Langlois has done a great job all season long getting pucks to the net. And this is well set up here. There's a one-timer by Charlie Russell on the power play. That was a great opportunity in good position. Miguel Marcus looking for his own rebound, tries to throw it back out front. Maine winning the puck battles here. Charlie Russell again with a good chance right in front of the net. Well defended from behind. There's Jax Wismer. He puts one up high on Boya. He has to react to that. Maine able to control the rebound and send it down ice. Here's the one-timer by Guidon that hits the side of the net. Looked like there was some net to shoot at, and then this is the great job by Will Gerwa. Picks up the loose puck in the neutral zone and wins the foot race, even though the puck was a little bit ahead of him. He goes forehand, backhand, and watches Mangbo throws out that left pad. He's just not able to get it over far enough to the post to prevent Gerwa from tucking it in. There's the nice move by Poirier. Just knocks the defender down or forces him to fall down. The feed out to Max Scott. Good one-time chance, but Sinclair lays out, just gets a piece of the puck to send it into the netting. And we stand at 1-1 after 2 periods of play. Maine unofficially leading shots on goal 25-20. So they poured more shots on in the second period. We'll get a look at the shot chart in a second, give you an idea of grade A opportunities. Yeah, as you see the stats there, Maine up to 53 shot attempts and 25 shots on goal. Faceoffs favoring Vermont, but that is still fairly even over the course of the game, as more importantly for the Black Bears, though, they got that goal on the board. Well, look at that last stat, the blocks, 11-7. This is what Vermont does. They are very good at blocking shots. They have to be, because they don't have a tremendous amount of offense. We talked about that all weekend, but that is thwarting some really, really good opportunities for Maine. Somebody's getting in front of that puck and just either getting a piece of it with their stick or a piece of it with their body. The Bangor Savings Bank Intermission Report will continue next with the Hockey East Plays of the Week. You're watching Hockey East on ESPN+.
Crisply ahead for Hagens. Hagens into the middle for a one-timer. They score. Gustafson hammers it home on the sweet feed from Hagens, and it's 4-0 BC.
On the bank towards DeHaro. UNH defenseman gave it away, and they score! It was deft from Wakely. He wrapped around and stole in one motion to make it 2-0.
Alex Rybakov carries to the line. Rybakov flips a backhand and scores! Alex Rybakov goes coast to coast.
A centering pass tipped in. A good response for BU.
Musa to Del Elche, cross ice, score! Daniel Yenchko, another power play goal for UMass.
Hockey ESPN Plus. It's about time for the third period at Alfond Arena as the Maine Black Bears look to complete a sweep of the Vermont Catamounts. It's 1-1 through 40 minutes tonight. Let's look at the Hockey East standings coming into today's action. The win last night for Maine pulled them into a tie with UConn for first place in the conference. UConn was also a winner last night. So as you see how everything stands up, let's go ahead and now look at the scores from today, which are brought to you by Citgo. Citgo top-tier tri-clean gasoline gets you where you're going. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Four finals already, and you see that Merrimack-Providence score does affect the standings you just saw. That means Merrimack is now even with Providence with 10 points for second place in the conference. BC looking good to sweep UMass this weekend, while Northeastern trying to split with UConn this weekend. Although you do have to point out the Union of Scarlet Chargers 7-1 win last night against UMass Lowell. They followed that up with a 6-0 win today against New Hampshire. Union is now 8-2-1 on the season, and one of their leading scorers this year, former Maine Black Bear Parker Lindauer. Better than a point per game for them.
Oh, good for him, because he couldn't get on the ice here in Maine. And, you know, sometimes it's a change of scenery that players need, maybe a fresh approach, maybe a different set of eyes looking at their game and helping them to get to the next level. So good for him to, you know, to find his way in Division I college hockey. But that's got to be the surprise of the season so far, what's happening out there at Union.
Yeah, one of them, along with Dartmouth as well in the ECAC, who's off to a 5-0 start coming into tonight's action. Boston University, too, well, their struggles continue. That's their one game this weekend. They played it at Quinnipiac and take another one on the chin. They surrendered 49 shots on goal tonight to the Quinnipiac Bobcats. Mikhail Yegorov actually made 43 saves.
It's incredible to think how much talent they have on that team, and they just do not have the winning record to show for it. So it's a long season. I'm sure by February they're going to be a different team.
The third period opening face-off is brought to you by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears. Lucas Peterson picked up the lone assist on Will Gerrois' tying goal in the second period. Gives to Holt. Holt rings it around. And Fowler was unable to pick up the puck as it goes all the way back from whence it came. Frank Jurasevich behind the goal for Maine now. Jurasevich over to his right to Lipinski. He'll get it into the zone. Kinsman collects it off the boards. And now with the puck, Jens Richards, captain tonight for Vermont, with the other captain, Philip Tornquist, out of the lineup due to injury. Still being evaluated, according to the coaching staff tonight, but he is not in there tonight. Certainly a big loss for the Catamounts. It's Jurasevich sending ahead, tipped into the zone by Friel. Lipinski looking to chase after it. Kinsman, it's turned over to Lipinski, collected by Nadeau. Nadeau tried to work it back to the point, but read well and intercepted by Agater. Good to the trailer, Sambuco, and he scores! Daniel Sambuco puts Vermont back in front.
Well, a micro mistake. We talk about that. You know, the intent was to get it back to the point. Didn't put enough on it. Vermont intercepts the puck. Now it's 3-on-2, and a great execution on the 3-on-2 as the puck comes to Sambuco, and he just beats Albin Boya cleanly. What a missile he fires. And so not the way they wanted to start this period for Maine, because they seem to have it going offensively. They seem to spend a lot of time in the offensive zone. Opportunities got into their game, and now that happens, and all of it is a result of a small mistake, unforced error, and Vermont, good for them, they capitalize.
Daniel Sambuco with his first goal of the season, his first point of the season for Vermont with that goal. Now the shot comes in, Mangbo the save, rebound was just out of the reach of Poirier. He's got it now. Justin Poirier tries it, doesn't get through. Richards, a 2-on-2 rush. Richards, a stick save by Boya as he ramps it high off the glass. Scott off glass, glove down, but taken by Russell. Lucas Peterson whips it around as Maine gets a line change. Dylan Gratton to Tyler Dysart. Given away now, around that goes. Dysart reached out for it. He's got it now. Plays back behind the goal. Loic Yuzero takes it over. Gerrois dances away from his defender. Banks that one in. Gerrois' pass out front, but it eludes everyone, and Boya will set it up for Chabrier.
First on the puck retrieval, that's actually a good play, but he doesn't realize how much time he has. He had time to make a play. Felt like he had to rush it. In doing so, he missed the point man.
Jurasevich. Maine changes out the forward grouping. Jurasevich to Langlois. Whips around the left to the right. And unable to control it was Fowler. Sebastian Tornquist to Strand, deflected by Fowler. Jurasevich put that one on the stick of Jonah Agater. Kessler. Sebastian Tornquist. Tornquist going behind the net with it. Tornquist turns and whips it wide. Another try, that one missing the net from Mateo Michaels. Strand back to Wismer, and that one is caught by Alvin Boya.
Well, Vermont getting energy from the goal by Sambuco. Now they're spending time in the offensive zone. They work the low-high play. Strand back to the point. Shot in on Boya. A little bit of traffic in front he has to contend with.
Jade Lipinski against Thomas Sinclair on the face-off. Wismer's shot hit something on the way. Boya the save. Chipped up ahead. Now a race to the dots, and it's won by Vermont for the icing call. This game is brought to you in part by Dirigo Pines, where it's not like home, it is home. Dirigo Pines makes senior living simple. Start planning your retirement today by contacting Jenna Bean to schedule a visit. Draw to the left of Boya. Lipinski against Sinclair again. Lipinski able to chop it back towards Boya. Flip it to the near side. Sambuco's shot stopped by Boya, and it's off the rink.
Sambuco first on the puck. Josh Nadeau looked like he was in position to retrieve it first, but let Sambuco get there. He turns and fires. You can see the end of it right there where Boya deflects it up into the stands, but man, you'd think there'd be a little more urgency in the defensive zone, wouldn't you?
Scott against Guindon on this face-off. Scott used the skate to get it back to Chabrier. Yuzero tipped in by Poirier. Mangbo handles it behind the goal. Maine looking to win it back, can't do it. And out with it is Guindon. Guindon, centering feed, missed Steenerson, and Maine might have numbers the other way. Pass a little ahead of Russell, and Ramsey up the boards all the way. It's icing.
Yeah, I mean, lack of precision in the offensive zone. You have time to make a play. It's just ahead of Russell. Now, fortunately, Vermont doesn't do themselves any favors because they ice the puck, but even though it doesn't result in a mistake, it's a lost opportunity to get a clean offensive zone entry and get into your setup and work from there. But let's see what they can do off the face-off.
Peterson shot off the glove of Mangbo and over top. Richards. Lipinski got it back, turned and fired. A stick save Mangbo. Rebounded hard off the end glass. Nadeau takes the hit to make the play, and it's Ramsey to Richards, off glass, might be icing, and is.
But Josh is a tough customer, isn't he? You said it, take a hit to make a play. He knows what's coming. And he's a much smaller player than Caden Harrington, and Harrington's the one that goes down.
Today's game is brought to you in part by UniFirst, proud supplier of uniforms to the University of Maine and businesses throughout the state for over 50 years. And looks like we'll get a timeout called.
Yeah, I think those guys have been out there
Timeout,
for a little
Vermont.
while, so Vermont wants to take their timeout with the lead. 4:47 to go in the third period.
And this timeout is brought to you by the official jeweler of the Black Bears, designs by Aaron, where Maine goes to get engaged, as Steve Weidler calling the timeout, hoping his team can snap a longest losing streak of the season, which is currently at 3 games. Only 1 goal over that stretch. By the way, Vermont has yet to score more than twice in any single game this year, even the 3 that they've won. So 2 is still a high water mark for the season.
Well, you have to give him a lot of credit. Excuse me, Jeff. You have to give him a lot of credit for coming back after a real shellacking last night, as we get a look at the hit on Josh Nadeau by Caden Harrington, the guy we profiled last night. He's a big dude, 6'2", 205. And Josh is not that. And Josh is the one who stayed on his feet. He is tough to knock off his feet. He's got that low center of gravity, but he's such an excellent skater.
Maine controls this offensive zone draw. A shot, though, by Jurasevich was blocked out by Strand. Shot back in by Maine. Miguel Marcus. Now Scholey and Fowler down there as well. And Vermont came away with the puck. Sent around by Malinsky to Strand. Front of the Vermont bench. Fowler to Jurasevich. Jurasevich gains the red line, flipped it in. And it's Strand on the puck for Gioni. Now it's Loic Usero. Usero. As the forwards change for Maine. Usero snaps the stick. And it's Sinclair, tried to center, but James picked it off. Calafieri. Maine's 4th line goes to work. Calafieri around for Usero with a new stick. Usero, pass in front, finds Chabrier, save, rebound off the post by Gerrois. Usero, gloved by Mangbo.
A terrific sequence for, well, that entire line, but Will Gerrois comes close to tying this hockey game up. After they passed up the initial opportunity, came over to Gerrois and it just shot it wide, hit the far post, I believe.
13:32 to go in the third. Vermont leads by 1. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is a local family-owned company that has been serving Maine communities for over 40 years. Proudly voted Bangor's best cleaning and restoration company since 2015. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Oakhurst Dairy. Kindness, goodness, Maineness. Learn more at oakhurstdairy.com. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by Down East Orthopedic Associates, the official orthopedic provider of the Black Bears. Maine out shooting Vermont 29-25 unofficially, but they trail 2-1. Vermont looking to split a series in which they lost 7-0 last night. Save made there by Mangbo on Peterson's skipping shot. Poirier battling for it, as is Scott for the Black Bears. Vermont comes away with it, though. It's Sambuco, whose goal right now could stand up as the winner for the Catamounts. They've been the only team to lead tonight. Russell. He got bumped, and Maine loses it. Dysart shoots it ahead. Holt gave it away now to Sinclair. The shot by Ramsey is stopped by Boya.
Low high out to Ramsey at the point. Quick shot, hard and low. Another big save by Boya as Maine gives up the puck. Comes right back out. A little bit of traffic in front, but Boya is able to make the save and control the rebound, which is critical.
Face-off will be in the Maine zone to the right of Boya. Chabrier off glass and into center. Ramsey, Harrington, back to Ramsey. Reversing direction now, Richards, cross-corner dump. Strand overskated. Lipinski the other way. Backhanded in by Jaden Lipinski. As Friel battles for it. Vermont unable to clear. Now they do as Strand gains the zone and shoots it. Stopped by Boya. Forgione. Sebastian Tornquist and back to PJ Forgione. Shot in by the Catamounts. Chabrier takes his man down. Appeals for a penalty from Vermont. Forgione. Now it's Calafieri shooting in. Brock James had tied up with Tornquist and fallen down, so Maine needed to tag up. They do and pursue again. Sebastian Tornquist. High off glass. Steenerson couldn't get the bouncing puck. Jurasevich. High dump to the left. Forgione. Flips that all the way down. Langlois got a stick on it, I believe. No, he didn't. Icing is the call against Vermont. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pepper's Landing. Check out their lunch, dinner, and gluten-free menu at pepperslanding.com or stop by one of their 3 locations in Old Town, Brunswick, and Ogunquit. Axel Mangbo has been good in his first start for the Catamounts this season. Marcus tried to go back to the point with it, but Peterson and cheated in a little bit. Here comes Holtz. Forgione takes him to the boards. Wismer battles with Scholey. Fowler takes it, gives to Holt. Peterson twists on the backhand for Marcus. Keeps it going to Scholey. Scholey leaned on a little bit. Now Scholey has it back. Finds its way to Marcus. Good pass out front. Loose puck. And squirts to the right corner. Holtz. Peterson. Back to Holt. One-timer. Just missed. Fowler turns, save Mangbo, and he collects the rebound to cover.
Well, Miguel Marcus thinks it's in the net. And it's not. Referee is signaling a slash. Is this going to go against Vermont? Get a look at it again. There's Scholey in the corner. Marcus throws it right back out front rather than circling behind. There's
Maine number
right
14,
there.
2 minutes slashing.
Looking for that puck. This is Holt. Over to Langlois. Holt with a shot in. Where's the slash going to happen here? Right there? Not sure.
Well, it is Sully Scholey who is in the penalty box for Maine. So that will put Vermont on their 4th power play of the game. 1 for 2 thus far are the Catamounts, looking to extend a lead midway through the 3rd period. Big kill for the Black Bears. Kessler fires to the right corner. Maine gets to it, puck on edge for Chabrier, but it does have enough to get out. Kessler brought back in by Guindon. Cedric Guindon. Kessler and Guindon in the right circle. Chabrier back to the point. Wismer keeps it in. Kessler, top of the slot. He'll try it. It's blocked by Friel. He'll get there and one-hand it down the ice. Wismer back to get the puck. Wismer turned it over. Owen Fowler. Nadeau, the pass was behind him. Guindon back in as he gets knocked to the ice. Holt clears all the way down again. Harrington. Sebastian Tornquist to Richards. Richards all the way around. Michaels able to reel it in. That's back toward the blue line, and it eludes Tornquist. Sebastian Tornquist. Tornquist over the red. Carries in himself, poked off his stick, and Russell has it. Charlie Russell. Russell takes the hit, tries to keep it alive. Steenerson, and it's Michaels to take over. Mateo Michaels.
Good work by Charlie Russell. We've seen that a couple times tonight. Willing to get down there, do the dirty work, burn some penalty or power play time for Vermont.
Maine back to full strength. Sambuco gives to Dylan Gratton. He'll shoot in. Boya. Jurasevich, that rides the glass and gets the protective netting above it to bring us to a break in the action. 8:02 to go in the third. It's Vermont 2, Maine 1. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Hammond Lumber Company is a fourth-generation family-owned company with 34 locations and over 1,200 employees across Maine and New Hampshire. For more information, stop in or visit them online at hammondlumber.com. The Maine-New Hampshire border battle presented by Buffalo Wild Wings is the hottest rivalry in college sports. Visit goblackbears.com/border battle for updates and special offers all season long. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. And also brought to you in part by the Northeast Driving School, the #1 driving school in the greater Bangor area. Online at bangor-driving-school.com.
So no damage done on the power play opportunity by Vermont, but you did waste 2 minutes of valuable time as you're chasing a 2-1 hockey game.
Thomas Friel rips it around and into the zone. Nadeau taking off his skates, good. Got it to the boards, and it's Sambuco to get the clear as Nadeau took a little bit of extra time getting up. Vermont ices the puck.
Right in front of the referee, and no call forthcoming. Could have been an interference, as I said, but at least Maine gets an offensive zone draw to get a chance to reset. Get another look here at the hit. Maybe the referee said he had possession momentarily.
Yeah, at least it was close enough, I'd say, that they'd let that go. We'll have to redo the face-off. Lipinski against Sinclair on this face-off. Into the corner it goes. Harrington. Peterson on the pinch. Finds Nadeau. A save, Mangbo.
Beautiful turn and fire by Nadeau. Left wing circle. In good position. Doesn't waste any time.
Lipinski. Good look. Friel. Saved by Mangbo as he shuts the 5-hole.
Good wrister by Friel. Left wing circle again. Feed by Lipinski. Quick release, which is so critical. Another look at it. They gain the blue line. Lipinski over to Friel. A little bit of distance there. Certainly no screen set up for him, and so Mangbo's able to see this all the way.
Maine looking for a tying goal for the second time tonight. Maine controls. Chabrier wrists it through. Fowler turns across the slot. Chabrier again looking for Fowler. It was blocked by Tornquist, out of play.
Yeah, good position by Tornquist. He's all over Owen Fowler, who's got a lot of net to look at, but no space to get his hands clear. There's the attempt there prior to that, and nothing comes of that. So still a lot of time left, 7-12. Maine pressing the attack in the offensive zone.
Jeff McCorkle with the instructions before the face-off. Tornquist turns, backhands all the way down. It just barely has enough steam for icing.
One of these sequences, Maine has got to make Vermont pay for the continual icing violations that bring the face-off back time and time again. We've seen it many times tonight, but so far Maine has not made them pay.
Sholey against Agater on this face-off. And Vermont able to pitchfork it down. That's going to be icing again on the Catamounts. As Forgione backhanded it down. Thought he had good draw weight on that one, but he did not. So Vermont, who's already taken their time out, again cannot change.
Well, you'd think at some point this would come back to haunt them, but they continue to do that. Trusting in their defensive structure, trusting their goaltender, trusting that they can overcome and that they're in good enough shape even though they can't make a change. At this stage of the season, these guys are starting to get into pretty good shape overall.
Mangbo the save on Langlois, and now Boya at the other end makes a save on Sebastian Tornquist. And a couple Black Bears going after a Catamount.
Yeah, well, Kessler just came cruising through. I don't think he made any contact with Boya, but the mere fact that you're standing there is going to draw some ire from the Black Bears as you see them gain the zone. Puck comes in. There's Kessler. It's actually Boya that kind of reaches out at him, puts the arm bar out there, and Poirier gets involved. Charlie Russell gets involved, as he has done all night, really all season. You are walking a fine line, trailing 2-1 in any extracurricular activity after the whistle. You run the risk of picking up another penalty, which would not be good.
Scott against Guindon on the face-off. Holtz trying to get away from Steenerson. And up the boards, and it finds Russell.
It's going to be a hand pass. Again, unforced error. Poirier plays the puck with his hand, kind of sends it over to Russell. So this will result in another face-off. There's another look at it. Next guy to pick it up is a Black Bear after Poirier gloved it.
Another draw to the left of Alvin Boya. That's toward Boya, and we'll get another face-off to his left. Maine heads out on the road next weekend. They'll play a Hockey Series at Boston College Friday and Saturday night as the Boston College Eagles look like they've started to find their stride. They won 7-3 last night against UMass. And their game at UMass tonight has now gone final with BC winning 4-0, which means shutouts on consecutive weekends now for the Eagles, and they've won 4 in a row. Last weekend it was Vermont, this weekend UMass. Poirier with the shot, that squirted through Mangbo but went wide. Now it's Russell down low, pinballs loose in the crease, and it's cleared away. Now it's back behind the net. Scott to Peterson. Peterson doesn't have a shooting lane. Holt tries, and it's just chipped wide by Maine. Russell in the corner. Vermont doesn't clear. It's Holt. Holt behind the goal line. Brandon Holt to Peterson. Went to Poirier with it, but it's chopped out by the Catamounts' Kessler.
Well, the whole thing got started with the excellent opportunity by Poirier. He's got that curl and drag. I keep talking about it. It's so effective. Just missed the far side.
Lipinski tried to drag it out front quickly. Jams away. Mangbo shuts it down. Usereau to Chabrier. Chabrier. That one too high and out of play.
Well, you kind of wonder where this urgency was in the first period, because Maine is very effective when they're pressing the attack and moving their feet.
5:12 left in regulation. Vermont is up 2-1. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Martin's Surplus and Salvage. With 13 locations throughout Maine, you'll never have to say, I should have bought it when I saw it at Martin's. And this game is brought to you in part by the Fitch Company, electrical and control systems engineering, and a proud partner of the University of Maine Black Bears. Come to you live from the Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth. Need tires or auto service? Head to Twin City Tire and Service on Wilson Street in Brewer. Online at twincitytireme.com or call 207-989-TIRE. 5 minutes to go in the third period. Maine trails Vermont 2-1. The Catamounts looking to split the series. Maine looking to come back and trying to force overtime. The Black Bears won 7-0. Last night. Tonight has been a very different story.
Well, it's incredible to think about if you're Vermont.
Vermont has changed goalies.
Wow. Didn't see that one coming.
Nor did I. Aiden Wright is now into the game with 4:51 to go. That must mean Mangbo maybe picked up an injury. That's the only thing I can think of here.
Well, I was going to say, if you're Vermont, to think after last night, you're in position to come out of Alfond Arena with points. It's incredible, and good for them. That's to their credit that they were able to come back so strongly Saturday night.
So Aiden Wright now in the goal. He was yanked late in the second period after giving up 5 last night. Now in there to try to see out the win. Agutter able to get it into the zone. It is Jeremy Langlois firing around. Marcus to Fowler. Fowler, Marcus. Langlois. Miguel Marcus, one-timer by Scholey, stopped by Wright. And now Strand comes out with it. Strand. Now Boya. Got that to Charlie Russell. Russell takes the hit. Jax Wismer to Strand. He lost it and got buried. Crowd wants a penalty. Vermont wants a penalty. They won't get one.
I would think they would want a penalty. That's a bad hit.
And I suspect we'll see a challenge for a major here, and they might get it.
They might. They're risking a penalty if they don't get it because they've taken their timeout, but that was a bad hit.
Strand facing the boards in front of the bench and got absolutely crushed.
Yeah, here's another look as the play comes up the wall. Here's Strand, watches Max Scott, clearly hits him in the numbers, and the linesman has to jump out of the way.
He is far from the boards, though.
Yeah.
If it was closer, maybe they would try the challenge, but
you're in danger anytime you pitch a guy over like that. The first thing that hits the wall is his helmet.
Peterson gets it behind the net. Russell. Wismer hits him in the corner. Vermont doing a good job of tying Maine up in the corner and killing time. Now Sambuco comes out with the puck. Peterson Fires in. And with the puck now again, Lucas Peterson for the Black Bears. Under 3 minutes to go. Holtz fires in, and Wright lost an edge and fell in his crease. It's Harrington to pick up the puck. Sent all the way down. Peterson, good body position there on Richards, and wins the puck. Lucas Peterson to Holtz.
Let's keep our eyes on Boya. If they can gain the zone cleanly with possession, very likely we're going to see Alvin Boya head to the bench.
Chabrier up the middle to Friel. Lipinski right wing. Boya makes the break for the bench. Lipinski, extra attacker on, 2:06 left. Lipinski got it to Gerrois, and now Chabrier turned it over. Ramsey up to center ice. Yuzero gloves down. Brandon Chabrier. Yuzero shoots in. Wright slowed it down. Big hop out front. Nadeau across the slot off a Maine stick and over the glass.
I just don't understand. I think you're right, Jeff. Mangbo must be hurt because Wright has not been sharp since he's been in there. Just mishandling the puck. Look at that ricochet right out front. Gerrois. Next on it is Nadeau. Gets through to the defense.
Timeout, Maine.
Get a stick on it. Maine takes a timeout, and I think this is smart because Maine's a little bit frazzled, a little bit frenetic in the offensive zone. Maybe settle things down a little bit. You're going to have an end zone face-off, offensive zone face-off, so you get a chance to sort of set up a play. But they're playing with some urgency, which has been long overdue, but a little bit too much on edge.
This timeout is brought to you by the official jeweler of the Black Bears, Designs by Aaron, where Maine goes to get engaged. You see Maine assistant coach Rick Bennett there with the dry erase board, giving the Maine players what they want to accomplish here off this draw.
Well, they send out the top line. Let's see who the extra skater is. Looks like it's Nadeau. That's actually the Lipinski line, and the extra skater is Poirier. Not surprising, he's your best goal scorer.
6 on the ice for Maine. Lipinski, Scott, Nadeau, Friel, Poirier, and Holt. So that's 5 forwards and 1 defenseman.
Question is, can they isolate Justin Poirier for the one-timer on the off-wing side?
Nadeau, Poirier! It is right. Looked like he got a piece of it to knock it wide. Vermont can't get it out yet. Max Scott digging in the corner. It makes it to Lipinski, but a good defensive play by Sinclair. He'll try to tie it up. Friel banks for Nadeau. Nadeau to Holtz. Poirier. Justin Poirier shoots it. Save right! Lipinski had the rebound, couldn't shoot it. Now it's loose in front. Another save right. Loose puck. Maine continues to dig. It's still free. Nadeau tries, that one missed.
Should have gone back with it.
Poirier. Nadeau. Poirier got the back glass. Holt back to Poirier. Poirier shoots and just missed. Friel might have gotten a piece, and that gets all the way down.
You know it's going along the wall. You got to get over there.
Maine gets back for the icing with 34 seconds left.
What a crazy sequence for Maine. The defender for Vermont was down. The referee refused to blow the whistle, which is the correct call. And Josh is able to keep it alive. Back to Holt, who tries to get it through. Lipinski, he's only got one end on his stick. He's trying to hammer this puck, and you can see the defender there.
That was underneath Forgione.
Yeah, Forgione. Finally, it squirts loose. Now Josh tries to force it right back in. Oh, would have preferred to see him send it back out high, but it's easy for me to say from up here. Second guess.
Dawson good for the empty net. He missed it, and that's icing.
Oh boy, tick-tock, 28 seconds left. So that burns 6 seconds off the clock, that sequence. Plenty of time to make a play, but it's critical to win the face-off. Get Scholey out there taking the face-off. Haven't seen that late in the game.
Maine has changed out personnel. Scholey on the draw. Marcus and Scholey dig for the puck. Scholey got it free. And now Langlois to the goal, but it missed. Fowler pitchforks it behind. 10 seconds to go. Peterson. And Marcus missed the net. And Maine runs out of time. Vermont gets out of Orono with the split after losing by 7 last night.
Unbelievable. I mean, you dropped 45 shots on a team that you beat 7-0 on Friday night, and you only register 1 goal Saturday night. This is college hockey, folks. This is happening all over the country. It is so hard to win 2 nights in a row as the players come out to congratulate Mangbo. It looks like he's kind of stunned. I don't know what happened to him, but that was almost disastrous as they put Aiden Wright back in. And Aiden Wright's a good goaltender, but he's coming in cold into a 2-1 hockey game and really struggled with his handling of the puck, and he was flopping all over the place, but Maine is unable to make them pay.
So Vermont gets the split, and Jack Webb is ice side with the victorious coach, Steve Weidler.
Coach, your team loses 7-0 last night, comes into the Alphon tonight and gets the win. What do you make of their response?
Well, it's just a gritty win by us. I mean, we talked about what it takes to win and what it takes to win at the Alphon, and what Maine has going here is unbelievable, and all the credit to their coaching staff. And I think this is the prototype for winning in Hockey East is what Maine has going on. I'm really proud of our guys for the response. Would have been easy to roll over and die. You got Axel Mangbo coming in and tearing his groin almost, and guys laying out for shots and doing it by any means necessary, so I'm proud of the guys.
Yeah, is that what went into that late change? That was a very late change with the lead.
Yeah, Axel's groin has been acting up, and we asked him if he could go and start, and he said yeah, and he grinded it out all the way to the bottom, and then had to sprint across the ice there and push across, and groin kind of went on him, and but then Aiden Wright comes in and locks it down. So yeah, proud of the guys.
I mean, obvious emotion. What does this win do for your team moving forward?
Well, I think it's huge. It reaffirms what's important to us. And when we play to our identity, we can play with anybody in the nation. And doing it the right way, there's never a wrong time to do it the right way. And I hope that sticks with our group.
Coach, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks so much, Jack, as the Vermont Catamounts pick up the win tonight, 2-1, as we begin our Black Bear postgame show presented by Bangor Savings Bank. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Well, Mike, as you said, this is college hockey this year. One game goes completely in one direction, another goes the other, but you can see tonight with Vermont, when they're actually able to defend, they are really tough to play against.
Yeah, they are, and they're big, and they're thick, and they have defensive structure. They're really good at blocking shots, and some of the best opportunities Maine had tonight, somebody got a piece of it to send it up over the glass. And when called upon, Axel Mangbo was there. Clearly, as we watched him leave the ice, it looked like he had some kind of leg injury. He was really laboring just to get off the ice, and so unfortunate that Maine could not capitalize on a cold goaltender coming in a high-pressure situation. Not that they didn't get their chances. They certainly did. 45 shots on goal, incredible, and a lot of those right in and around the blue paint, especially late in the game.
And for Vermont fans, that Mangbo injury may be something to watch, because Vermont only has 3 goalies on the roster, and one of them, Jacob Oster, a first year, was injured during an NHL development camp this year. He has not suited up in a game yet. We don't know if he's actually going to be able to play at all anytime soon, but now if Mangbo is out for any extended period of time, they are going to have to lean on the first-year Aiden Wright. They already have this year for pretty good effect, but definitely something to watch.
Well, and if they have a good club team at UVM, I think they'll be making a call to see who they can pull out of one of the fraternities or something. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened in college hockey or even in pro hockey. Sometimes you see an emergency goaltender get called in, but man, I just can't I can't believe that Maine is not able to string 2 games together, second weekend in a row, where they lack the urgency to start with. I mean, look at the keys to the game that we mentioned at the top of the show. We wanted them to stronger start. Yeah, you can't check that box. You wanted power play or special teams execution. You can't really check that box because Vermont won the special teams. You wanted them to continue to put the hammer down or keep the pedal down, so to speak. They weren't able to do that. They certainly didn't come out doing that. When they finally developed the urgency, they certainly had a lot of chances, and it was fun as anything to watch, but frustrating in the ultimate result.
Yeah, Maine goes from winning 7-0 to a 2-1 loss now, and certainly I'm sure there'll be a lot to work on in practice. As we mentioned, giant challenge coming up now with the Boston College Eagles, who got out of the gate slowly, but now appear to be figuring it out as they've won 4 straight.
Yeah, of course, just in time for Maine to visit Boston College, but a lost opportunity to pick up 6 huge points in the league. It just, when those slip through your fingers, this may be a weekend that you look back on and go, this was costly, potentially.
So the Black Bears again will head to Boston College next weekend. Vermont will be home for one out-of-conference game against Harvard on Saturday. The Catamounts improved to 4-6 overall and 2-4 in Hockey East. Maine is 7-4-1 overall and 4-2 in Hockey East. The Black Bears again at BC. Next time they'll be home will be December 5th for the Buffalo Wild Wings border battle against the New Hampshire Wildcats. But the athletic weekend at UMaine continues tomorrow as Maine men's basketball will take the court at the Pit against the Quinnipiac Bobcats. That's a 2 o'clock start. You can see it both here on ESPN Plus and on Nesson. Now, for Ryan and Marissa and everybody else behind the scenes, along with Jack Webb and my broadcast partner Mike Toole, I'm Jeff Mannix. Your final score tonight from the Alfond Arena is the Vermont Catamounts 2 and the Maine Black Bears 1. Thanks for watching Hockey East on ESPN Plus.